Good morning, everybody. Today we'll study the topic trigonometry. Trigonometry is the basic building block. This topic is a very basic concept for the students studying right from class 9. I think that's in ICSE board, and this topic will be followed with you up till class 11, 12, and those who build their basic concept very like strong in trigonometry, they will have like a very easy life, easy life in math when they are in class 11th and 12th. That time it is supposed that the students having very good concept of trigonometry in class 11 and 12 excel well. So here we'll try to understand the topic trigonometry. So studying the topic trigonometry, we are going to first understand the very basic thing, the trigonometric ratios, trigonometric functions. Trigonometric ratios are also called trigonometric functions, and also we'll also learn about trigonometric identities. So here we go. We are going to learn about trigonometric ratio slash function and trigonometric identities. So when I was studying this trigonometry, I had a very basic question that why do we study trigonometry? What is the use of trigonometry in our daily life? So I'll even come to that when I study when I talk about trigonometric identities. Then this using these trigonometric identities, we'll learn about height, distance. There's a topic called height and distance. In there we'll come to know that this is the actual application of trigonometry. And so okay, let's begin. I do have plenty things to talk, but I should right now focus on trigonometric ratios and functions. So trigonometric ratios and functions basically come from the concept wherein two-dimensional plane there is a point with coordinate x and y. Let's say there is a point P with coordinate x and y. Since it is in two-dimensional plane, therefore it will have coordinates x and y. The coordinate x will be, let's say this point P forms a triangle. So this distance is x. X is the distance of the point from y axis, and this is my distance y. This is the distance from x axis. Point P is at a distance y from x axis, and let's say we have drawn a perpendicular, a perpendicular of that point, the line emanating from point P is perpendicular to x axis. So this forms let's say call this point as O, and let's call this point where the perpendicular falls as A. So here triangle PAO is a right angle triangle. Why I wrote POA? Because in angle, in a triangular method, we take this notation wherein the angle containing the triangle will be placed in the middle. The point subtending the angle will be placed in the middle of the other two vertex. So this is right angle triangle. This is right angle triangle. So here we can let's say this distance between the distance of point P from origin, let's call this as R. So we let's assume that this point P is the distance, the line connecting point P and O is subtending an angle theta from x-axis, and I have drawn the direction of angle because the anti-clockwise direction is considered as a positive angle. Positive angle always anti-clockwise. I'll come to the basic concepts about measurement of system of measurements of angle. That very topic is mainly misunderstood by people, but I am like I have to be stick to time, so I'll focus right now on trigonometric function. So here we have sine theta cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta, and cot theta. So we will call this y as, let's say, perpendicular. This is perpendicular. It's very evident from the figure that this line is in the triangle. This line PA is perpendicular. Let's call this as base. The line OA is base, and this R is hypotenuse H. This R is hypotenuse. So I'll give very shortcut for the children who are in class 9 and 10, to understand this thing very, in a very jargon, I use some jargon to learn this sine, cos, tan, because in the beginning it is very confusing for them. So we'll learn like this: Pakistan, bhukha, pyasa. Then in reciprocal Hindustan, hara, bhara. See, it's very easy. Perpendicular by hypotenuse is nothing but sine theta. I'll say that this is angle theta, and sine of this angle is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Then cos theta will be base upon hypotenuse, and then tan theta will be perpendicular upon base. So, and these three are the story of sine, cos, and tan. And the cosecs, sec, and cots are reciprocal of the respective sine, cos, and tan. So here we can write h upon p. Here we can write h upon b. Here we can write b upon p. So it's very easy to learn all this. And we also have the relation between them, that if I have written sine theta is equal to p upon h, cosec theta is equal to h upon p, that means both of them are inversely related. I mean, both of them are reciprocal of each other. So sine theta. So here we come across trigonometric functions. So these are the trigonometric ratios. And now we'll come to know about trigonometric functions. Sine theta into cosec theta is 1, because sine is reciprocal of cosec theta. So sine theta is 1 upon cos theta. So I brought the cosec theta in a one go. Similarly, cos theta and sec theta are reciprocal of each other. Similarly, tan theta and cot theta are reciprocal of each other. Okay. Now we also have multiple. I'll let first let the children write. You can write. You can copy it down. Now, if it is done, then we also know that using only sine and cos, is there some way wherein tan theta can be derived? So if we closely observe perpendicular upon hypotenuse and base upon hypotenuse in sine theta and cos theta respectively, then let's say if I divide both, if I divide sine theta with cos theta, right? So this is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, this is base upon hypotenuse. Hypotenuse gets cancelled in the base, and finally what remains is p upon b. P upon b is nothing but tan theta. So here I can say that tan theta is nothing but sine upon cos, and I have seen that tan theta and cot theta are reciprocal of each other. Then I can also say that cot theta is its reciprocal, that is nothing but what? Cos theta upon sine theta. So here very easy. First write sine cos tan, then go with the jargon Pakistan bhukha pyasa, Hindustan hara bhara. It's very easy to remember. If at all people get confused, then always remember the perpendicular and hypotenuse. First perpendicular upon hypotenuse is sine theta, then base upon hypotenuse is cos theta, then perpendicular upon base is tan theta. Everything starts from perpendicular. So in that way the children can remember this. Now we'll try to learn about these are the trigonometric functions. The very basic thing, children at a starting, they will find lot of things confusing. So after this lecture, I'll be explaining about the system of measurement of angles, wherein I'll explain a very minute details of these very angles, how they are measured, when the Britishers used sexagesimal system, that time how it was used to be measured. Then the French developed their own method of measuring the angle. They called it at centagesimal system or something like that. I don't remember the name actually. And thereafter SI system of units was developed, wherein angles were measured in radians. So whatever angle here we do, it's right now it's measured in SI unit is in radian, but whatever things we are dealing here, it's measured in degrees. So remember this, the difference between degrees and radians I'll cover in some other video. So right now I'll come back to trigonometric identities. So trigonometric identities is very good let's say thing to understand. I mean, it's a very important as well, because this forms a building block of the trigonometries of trigonometry of students of class 11 12. So some people, those who haven't practiced well, this identity is all about practice. So here are some basic concepts we are going to learn. First of all, before coming to trigonometric identities, let's say this is a right angle triangle. So we'll simply use Pythagoras theorem here. That what does Pythagoras theorem says? That square of the base and perpendicular, when we add squares of base and perpendicular, we get the distance of that point from origin. That's nothing but hypotenuse. So let's write in a vague term. Square of base, that is x square, right, plus y square is equal to r square. X square plus y square is equal to r square, or we can say that hypotenuse r is root under perpendicular square plus base square. So we have removed this root, and we have maintained that square with r. So we'll try to use this in the terms of sine and cos. So how we'll do this? X square is nothing but b square, y square is nothing but p square. That is b square plus p square is h square. So let's try to square the sine and cos. I am squaring sine square theta and adding with, let's say, cos square theta. Just let's see what we are getting. So when we add p square upon what, h square, plus cos square, that is b square upon h square, right? So here we get as h square p square plus b square, p square plus b square. Now according to this hypotenuse, according to this law of triangle, we come to know that x square plus y square is r square. The Pythagoras theorem is used here. So that is nothing but p square plus h square is equal to what? P square plus b square is equal to h square. So here we come to know that this p square b square is equal to h square. So these two are equal. So let's say this is equal to h square, then these two if gets cancelled, then that equates to 1. So can we say that sine square plus cos square theta is 1? Yes, we can say sine square plus cos square theta is 1. I have taken Pythagoras theorem when you study coordinate geometry. This is nothing but sine square plus cos square theta is equal to 1 will be explained by a circle with unit radius and in a circular two-dimensional plane. So that will be understood very well, but I will not go into that deep. For the student of class 9 and 10, now it's very easy to remember the Pythagoras theorem. You can take a reference of Pythagoras theorem to prove this one, or you can simply say just square sine square and cos square and then use Pythagoras theorem. Then we'll find that p square plus b square is equal to h square, which is what Pythagoras had told. So that equates to 1. Okay, Now coming to next identity, we'll come to know that when we square this tan and add 1 to it, what we get here as square of this sec. So 1 plus, you can prove with this very well, 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. Again 1 plus cot square theta, 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta. So these things are can be proved very well and very important, right? These concepts can have been like understood by the children, but they find very difficult to like understand this. So we'll be doing this much for the day, and we'll hanging up. So please note down.